My husband sounded calm when he said we were going to the hospital.
Too calm.
Minutes later, the road disappeared, the forest closed in, and he confessed he'd poisoned me. He gave me 30 minutes and left me there to die. What he never imagined was that I already knew, and that night, the story didn't end the way he planned. After we finished eating, a faint shiver crept into my hands. It wasn't obvious, nothing dramatic enough to draw attention, just a subtle vibration beneath the table, as if my body was trying to alert me before my thoughts caught up. The air around me felt suffocatingly hot. His voice began to blur, stretching and dulling, like sound traveling through water. "Stay with me, love," my husband said as he rose from his chair, already reaching for the car keys. "I'll get you to the hospital." What struck me wasn't concern, it was rehearsal. His tone was smooth, almost tender, but delayed, like a line delivered too late. We were already on the road when he veered off the highway. The smooth pavement gave way to crunching stones. Darkness closed in as trees swallowed the last traces of light. He slowed the vehicle, leaned toward me, and dropped his voice the way people do when they confess something they've practiced saying over and over. "I poisoned your dinner," he murmured. "You've got 30 minutes. Get out." He didn't turn to face me. He didn't have to. He believed I was already on borrowed time. He stopped the car, unlocked the door, and waited. I stepped onto the deserted road, my knees barely holding me upright, my sight narrowing into a tunnel. He drove off calmly, no screeching tires, no rush, just a man convinced he had finally erased an inconvenience. Standing there alone, I assumed it was the end. Then I began to count. I once thought betrayal announced itself loudly, with shouting, violence, or a single undeniable moment. That's how stories portray it, as if truth crashes into your life without warning. But betrayal doesn't shout. It vibrates softly. It lingers. We met 12 years earlier in a cafe. He spilled sugar everywhere, apologized excessively, and smiled like someone waiting for permission to feel joy. That fragility drew me in. He treated everything carefully, as though afraid of breaking it. Our life grew from that gentleness, walls, routines, shared humor, and comfortable silence that felt deserved. That's why the pain cut so deeply. Not because he walked away, but because he remained while already gone. The shift was gradual. His phone started resting face down. A new scent clung to his clothes. He corrected me in front of others with a soft voice that practiced disrespect before it admitted it. Then came late hours, business trips, and finally a name that flashed once on our shared tablet before vanishing forever. I didn't challenge him. Not yet. I observed. I memorized patterns, routines, and passwords he assumed were beyond my reach, forgetting I was the woman who knew his breathing rhythms and sleep habits. Confirmation arrived during dinner one evening. His phone lit up. A message preview appeared. 3 words told me everything. "I miss you." I smiled, handed him the salt, and finished eating. That night, I stopped being his spouse and became his witness. People imagine revenge as chaos, shattered objects, screaming arguments. That's just pain unraveling. True revenge is silent, methodical, and lawful. I didn't break down. I recorded. I consulted attorneys under the guise of long-term planning. I separated finances inch by inch. I relocated assets quietly. I archived texts, receipts, timelines, and contradictions. Then I did the one thing he never anticipated. I let him believe he was in control. When he offered to cook more often, I encouraged it. When he insisted on handling things, I stepped aside. I allowed him to feel dominant, intelligent, victorious. Men like him don't simply want you gone. They want you erased. The poison was meant to be his perfect ending. No traces. A grieving husband. A sealed case. What he failed to realize was that I had noticed the missing prescription bottle days earlier. That I switched our plates without hesitation. That the amount he served couldn't kill anyone, but it could convincingly mimic death. By the time he confessed in the car, I already understood everything. Lying on the dirt road, I called emergency services, letting my hands shake deliberately, my voice fracture on cue. I let fear sound real. They arrived in time. They always do.
So, did he?
He showed up at the hospital ready to perform grief. What he didn't expect were officers waiting, toxicology results, and the carefully assembled evidence already in place. When questioned about leaving the highway, his words collapsed. When asked about the prescription, his silence betrayed him. That was when I finally met his eyes and spoke. I explained everything calmly, precisely. No tears. Just truth. And I saw it, the instant comprehension struck him. The realization that he hadn't replaced me. He had revealed himself. He discovered who replaced him in this story. Not another woman. Not a younger version of me. But someone who no longer needed him breathing to feel powerful. Now I sit alone in a quiet space, signing documents with steady hands. The house belongs to me. The future is still, peaceful in a way that feels deserved. People ask if I'm angry.
No.
Anger is loud, temporary, messy. What I feel is freedom. He believed he gave me 30 minutes. I used 12 years. And I didn't die on that road. I stood, wiped away the dirt, and walked forward, while he finally understood who he had underestimated.